Good evening. On behalf of the governing body of the City of Passaic, we welcome you to the May 20th, 2025 City Council meeting. In accordance with Chapter 231 Public Laws of 1975, adequate notice of this meeting was provided by resolution of the Municipal Council adopted on June 18th, 2024, setting forth the schedule of meetings for the year 2024-2025. Said notice was published and posted on the City Hall Bulletin Board by the Office of the City Clerk. Please be further advised this meeting will be conducted in person. The Zoom stream provided is for viewing only and is offered to the public as a convenience. On May 7th, 2025, public notice and Zoom instructions for this meeting were published in the Herald News and posted on the City of Passaic website at www.cityofpassaic.com. Council agendas. Instructions are also available on the last page of this agenda. Please be guided accordingly.
Roll call, please.
Councilman Monk,
Present.
Councilwoman Mello,
Present.
Councilman Schwartz, Councilman Garcia,
Present.
Councilwoman Colon Montañez,
Present.
and Council President Scheer.
Yes, shall we please rise?
Heavenly Father, we thank you, Lord, for allowing us to be here this evening. Father, we present to you the agenda that has been set before us, and we ask you to please guide us as the decisions that will take place this evening. Lord, as Psalm 34:18 says, that you comfort those that are with a constrict heart. And we ask, Lord, for a special prayer, Lord, for the family of the White family who lost their a member yesterday. We ask them that you give them the strength and the comfort this very hour. In your beloved name we pray. Amen.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. For members of the council, there is a revised agenda item and an addendum to item number 27A, resolution amending resolution number 35-04-104, resolution appointing commissioners and alternate commissioners to zoning board of adjustment. Is there any objection to including this item on tonight's meeting? Seeing none. We are up to, on our agenda, we are up to Roman numeral 4, Mayor's update. Mr. Mayor, sir.
No report. I'll reserve my comments at the end of the meeting.
Very good. Thank you, sir. I believe congratulations are in order. This is the first meeting since the election. Mr. Mayor, on behalf of this council, we thank you for running again, and we thank you for accepting the responsibilities which you execute so wonderfully well. With the council's permission, we are up to hearing of citizens. In accordance with the Open Public Meetings Act, NJSA 10:4-1 at SEC, the council opens every public meeting for comments of the public. However, in accordance with NJSA 10:4-12, nothing in this act shall be construed to limit the discretion of the public body to permit, prohibit, or regulate the active participation at any meeting. Therefore, please be advised that the council will not entertain any comments from persons who communicate obscene material, make statements which are considered bias, intimidation, in which a person intends to intimidate any individual or group because of race, color, religion, gender, handicap, sexual orientation, or ethnicity, or makes comments intending to harass or speak any offensive language. The person who makes these statements will relinquish their allotted 5 minutes for public discussion. Is there anyone who would like to address the council, please? Would you please share with us your name, and please be advised that everyone who would like to speak is limited to 5 minutes and 5 minutes only. I'm sorry, ma'am, could you? I'm sorry?
No, I just would like you to repeat that, please. I didn't hear you. I'm sorry.
Oh, no, I'm terribly sorry. Everyone is allowed 5 minutes to speak. And if you could please share with us your name.
Sure.
And a little bit louder.
I'm sorry.
And a little bit louder.
Oh, a little bit louder. Okay. Okay. Good evening. My name is Marva Wade. My address is 79 Barry Place. I'm a lifelong resident of the city of Passaic and a property tax-paying citizen for 24 years at the address on Barry Place. I'm not a fan of public speaking or drawing attention to myself. In fact, I hate it. But like most Americans across the country right now, we find ourselves pushed to the point where we have no choice other than to get out of what we thought were comfortable, safe places and go to our city halls, our civic centers, and other gathering places to confront the folks that we elected to represent us. And the reason that I feel compelled to stand here right now is because the officials that supposedly represent me and my family could not be bothered to give us a minimum of consideration about altering the living environment that we have worked to maintain for 24 years. I am referring to the introduction of the new Rita's ice cream store that is being dropped down into our neighborhood. No notice, no flyer, no email, no mail. It's funny, we can get a letter. We can get a letter if the city is changing the recycling schedule. You seem to have no problem finding us to mail a property tax bill. But when you decide to introduce a brand new commercial enterprise that will bring traffic, noise, trash, and hanging out on the street in front of our house until God knows what time, you don't see us. We didn't even know about any of this until we watched two guys climb up onto the roof of the train station building to install two gaudy neon signs on April 24th. That's how we found out. On the roof of a building that was built in 1870. 1870. That's more than a century and a half ago. That's 50 years. 50 years before the house that we live in was even built in the 1920s. A building that until just now didn't even have electricity in the interior. And it still doesn't, if I'm understand correctly. That building should be considered a historic landmark. Up until this point, we thought that the building would be what it had been for years, a place to provide storage for the city's recreation equipment. If you had bothered to consult me, I would have suggested maybe putting some nice vintage period era benches inside so that the commuters would have a nice place to sit and wait for the train when the weather is bad. But no one bothered.
You have
And
1
it's
minute now.
actions like this that lead me to believe that our representatives do not care what the people that live in that neighborhood think. For as long as I can remember, Passaic Park was the pride of this town, a nice residential place to live. But now, to this central location in the park, you want to introduce this in addition to the mess that we already have to handle from a negligent New Jersey Transit Agency. But at least we knew what we were signing up for when we bought the house next to the train station, or at least we thought we knew. We didn't count on being the maintenance staff for picking up the commuter garbage that's blowing all around and over to our property.
Ma'am, excuse me, please. Your time is up, but I'm going to allow you to finish up, but I'd like you to wrap it
Okay.
up, please.
Okay. Or we didn't count on being the landscapers when they don't cut the grass near ours. I don't have the time to go into detail about all the damage that's been done from their unmaintained trees. The point I'm making here is that because New Jersey Transit's inability to keep their property maintained, there's a lot of vermin residing in the overgrown bushes on their land. We know about the rat infestation problems in other parts of the city, and the introduction of this business in this location makes it ripe for that problem to start over there. And why should we believe that this new establishment will take care of this property better than New Jersey Transit takes care of theirs? This new store works against the appeal of what makes Passaic Park area attractive. Was a study done on the environmental impact to introduce this commercial store into this space? I don't know, who knows? No one bothered to tell us if they did. A few blocks
I
down.
need you to wrap up, ma'am. I'm
Okay,
sorry.
okay. So what I'm going to say is, you have a few blocks down, you have empty storefronts with ample parking. You could have foot traffic there, introduce, positive cash flow to the stores that exist there. We don't oppose new commercial enterprise or industry. We're tax-paying citizens. We understand if we have a healthy tax base, maybe you'll take some of the burden off of us. I don't understand why it's there. And what I'm going to wrap up and say is, who in this scenario with the brand new shiny Rita's ice cream store gets the consideration? Who's getting the consideration? Who gets the respect? Whose needs are a priority? Whose interests are being served? Is it the commuters? Is it the ice cream shop customers? Is it the whoever it is that owns the Rita's? Is it the wealthy corporation? I can tell you right now that it's not the tax-paying residents or the voters on Barry Place and Van Houten Avenue. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you for your comments. Yes, sir.
How you doing? My name is Anthony Wade. Live at 79 Barry Place. The reason I'm here, obviously, is about that Rita ice cream. On August 25th, somewhere around, not August, but April 25th, somewhere around there. Now, let me take it back a little bit. I was coming out my house for probably about a month or two before this Rita sign appeared. And there was always a man out there every morning. And I'm like, why is he out there? And when I noticed was that, you guys was cleaning out the storage unit that Passaic was using for recreational department. But I didn't think anything of it. I thought they was just moving it out. Then on the 24th, we come home and there are 2 signs hanging. So the next day, I went out for something. I come back. I see a whole group of people over by the train station. So I figured that obviously they had to be there for what was happening because somebody was inside. They were inside the storage unit. And so I went over there to ask, what was going on. And there were 3 people that were inside the storage unit. There were a whole another group of people who were standing over to the side, seemed like they was having some type of disagreement. I don't know. So I walk into the storage unit and I see 3 people. I see one lady there, and she had long, I thought maybe she's a city council person. So I said, "Oh, you're a city council person?" She says, "No," and she walks away. There's another guy there who I always seen out there every day. I say to him, "Are you the owner of this?" And he says, "Yes." And then I see another guy there with the Passaic shirt on. And I asked him, so who are you? He says, I'm the business administrator. And so I asked him, couldn't you guys have notified us of what was going on? And he told me, no, we don't have to, because by law, all we have to do is make a notification inside the newspaper. And so what I did was, I asked him, so you mean to tell me this is all you have to do when you are interrupting, when you are changing, you are adding something to a community? Zoning laws don't matter, don't matter. He told me that this was a collaboration between Passaic and the train station, New Jersey Transit. And so I asked him, when did you put that in the paper? He told me he didn't know. He told me that I had to come down, speak to his secretary. And obviously, the business administrator name is Ricardo. And so what I did was I came down, I got the information. He told me it was in the office. Well, anyway, I went, I found the information. And what I found was that on March 20th, you put that inside the newspaper.
1 minute, sir.
Excuse me?
You have 1 minute more, please.
Excuse me?
You have 1 minute more,
I have
please.
1 minute? Okay.
Yes, sir.
Well, let me get this out. You put in the newspaper that you guys was gonna have a meeting about this. And the law you used, you said it was for a concession stand. It's obvious that's not a concession stand. I'm not gonna go into all the laws that you used that shouldn't have used, but I think if I call off the top of my head, it was NJS, I want to say 4455, something along those lines, 55D. But it's what you put in the newspaper. But in there, you said it was for a
His time is
concession
up.
stand.
Sir, I'm sorry, your time is up.
And, excuse me,
Your time is up, sir.
I'm going to finish.
Please
You
summarize.
said it was for a concession stand. So all I'm saying is that the least we could have had was some respect. We pay our taxes on time, every time. And the least we could have gotten was some respect and a notification of what was happening. And to be dismissed and disrespected and told that all you have to do is put it in the newspaper, and that's the law. It's disrespectful.
Thank you, sir. Anyone else who would like to address the council?
Parker Brown, 247 Summer Street. I'll be brief because I got some stuff to do. The Public Laws Act of 1975 is insufficient. I've come many times. I've spoke to Renee. Luckily, we have a good relationship. I've spoken with the mayor. The people don't, who reads the paper in 2025 anymore? Not a lot of people. So to put something in the newspaper where people don't read it, I know what I do with the newspaper. I use it for trash. So that's just me. That's why I understand what they were coming from. The second part that I'm about to say, and I wish Dr. Love was here. I practiced this for a little while. He said he was a student of life last time I was here. And I like to think that I am myself. I have read a great many documents. I have not read that master plan yet. It's 136 pages. I can't get through it. But I want to ask a question, and maybe you can help me. I'm going to humble myself right here for everyone to see. I'm here because I've had certain council members inside my house. I'm not going to point out to, hey, it was that person. So you know the conditions that certain people in the city of Passaic is living under. My question is, what are you doing to help? I should be at a basketball game right now, helping out the kids and recording something right now. But even if I did go do that right now, I would go back to a house with no power. Now, I get it. There's nothing specifically that you could do about the power, but what are we doing to lower the electricity bills? I would love to say that things are sunny and good and they're great, but I'm telling you, we come from a prideful city and people are struggling so much and they're not going to come in here and ask for help like I'm asking right now. I made a mistake when I was younger. I was in a position where I could have just came home and asked the people who love me for help. I didn't do that. I chose something else. I chose to go out in the streets and I did stupid things. I don't blame anyone for my decisions. But I'm older now. I've experienced some things. I'm not going to tell you about how Monday when I was walking about number 7, yes, I am going to tell you. I was walking by number 7 on Monday. I spoke to the police already. They're looking into it. And I seen a lady that was sitting on the steps doing crack by number 7, the elementary school. Now, I wanted to say and do more, but I can understand how people can do these type of things right now, because when your power's off, you have no place to live, and people are coming to you saying, hey, are you unhoused or are you homeless? Nobody cares about that. They just need help. So my question is, what are we doing to help people? And how can a resident get in touch with their city council that doesn't involve coming in here when we're at our ends with ready to, create this tense situation? And please don't say that just send me an email or call and you'll get back to me, because other than the mayor and Mr. Chair, that's the only people that I've heard back from. And I've sent emails going back to last year. So what do we got to do? That's it. I don't even have the whole 5. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Councilwoman Miller, please.
Yes, you mentioned that you need assistance with your power. Have you gone to, we do have a place called a Board of Social Services that if you are in need, you can go there and they will assess your situation. And if you qualify, you will definitely receive the services that you need. We have one right here. It's on Prospect and our main building is 80 Hamilton.
You're not wrong. You're right. Did all of that. PCA, USF, approved, still.
Council President, City Council, we also have in the City of Passaic Human Services Department, we have the weatherization program. We've offered free space to the county agency that provides financial assistance in paying the PSE&G bill, power, and other utility assistance. Most recently, when the moratorium ended on shutoffs with the Water Commission, and there are different agencies that we have published on our website as well to let you know what resources are available from state funding as well as local. Through our CDBG, we often provide additional community development block grant, the acronym, and we provide additional funding and resources. If you come to our human services, it's located on the first floor. You can speak to Ms. Judith Sanchez in Human Services. Also, again, I'll reiterate that the weatherization program from the county is located in the same department, and they will assist you with additional funding. Some of it is income in terms of basing it on income eligibility. Other funding is based on need. Not simply the need and not necessarily your income. I would ask that you come in the second floor, on the second floor, if you go to my office and speak directly to Anna, she can direct you specifically to each of the agencies and assist you with the applications in terms of writing them out. And then in terms of others, you have asked a general question. How do we get the information out there? We often send out the flyers through the schools to try to get them home with the children. Recently, because of software, they put them on the apps. The phones, many parents aren't checking the app, so we'll try to see if we can get the letters out. I think one of the speakers shared that they've received recycling information. We often try to send it all together. We put some of the information together, and we'll look to add to those letters when we send them out this year, all of the assistance and all of the telephone numbers that relate to each of those agencies. I hope that would help to a certain extent.
And if all that doesn't work, and it should by then, in terms of policy, not so much in terms of practicality, but in terms of policy, you can stop by my assembly office. And at that point, I will tell you, chances are about 99.9% that everything has been exhausted. But for that 0.01%, it's worth stopping by and seeing if there's something that somehow someone overlooked, right? And the mayor is absolutely right. Most of it is income-based. But there are appeal processes. There is recognition that some people just don't have the money after feeding their children and putting a roof over their head. So the state has been very aggressive. The state of New Jersey has been very aggressive, unlike many of our sister states. Although I must caution everyone, as I'm sure everyone is aware in any event, that the federal administration in Washington, D.C. does not seem to carry the same belief system that this country has been ruled under for at least the past number of years. And whether or not all those grant availabilities will be available in the future is something which no one knows. Well, I'm sure someone knows, but certainly no one in this hall. Anyone else like to address the council? Yes, ma'am, Ms. Griggs.
Good evening. My name is Renee Griggs, and I live at 23 Astor Place, apartment 6C. First, I want to say thank you, Chief Goodman, for getting back to me. But today I had an experience that baffled me, and I really get baffled. I was leaving the 52 Astor Place administration office, heading over to 33 Astor Place management office with Director Ron Van Rensselaer. We saw a young man in the backyard. I'm being kind, he wasn't that young. With a pit bull dog. He unleashed his dog, and the dog ran immediately after towards us, jumping and attacking us after I screamed several times to get your dog, get your dog, get your dog. I guess I screamed so loud, and everybody is familiar with my voice at Aspen Place. People began to look out the window. We finally got the man to get the dog. We called the police, and the police officers that showed up and said the man is allowed to have the dog run unleashed because the back area of Aspen Place was a park. I didn't know we were zoned for a park. I didn't know that, but since if we are, could we get some Green Acres money so we can fix it up? They did nothing. They allowed the man to leave with the dog, and they told me that I was over-exaggerating because the dog didn't maul me or bite me. Led it to be having a 2.5-hour impromptu meeting with residents at Aspen Place that saw me go through this. And the question is still is, and to my question to the Director Van Rensselaer, because his meeting is tomorrow and it ain't gonna be nice. Why are we paying $500,000 for police protection when we are not getting it? When you get officers that say, because a dog attacked you, he didn't maul you, he didn't bite you, you are being overly sensitive. To a man that identified himself that he didn't live there, dogs we do not allow on our premises. This is what I'm told about somebody that's supposed to protect the safety and well-being of me. And my complex is the brunt of that bill. We are not satisfied as residents there. Then the supervisor, a sergeant, shows up and says, well, this is a backyard. This is a park. Police officers do not know the areas in which they patrol. They don't know what is someone's backyard and what is a public park. And I thought Passaic had a leash law that dogs should be on the leashes when walked by its owner. And to allow someone just to walk away and say, because they didn't eyewitness it, and to have a sergeant getting paid out of that $500,000 to supposed to man the cameras on a daily basis, to say, oh, I wasn't there today. I have to wait and see when I'm available to review the camera. Well, Ron might take that laying down, but I'm not. We have warned the housing authority. We are ready to withhold our rents and our funds until they defund the police. Thank you for your time and attention.
Thank you, ma'am. Anyone else like to address the council at this time, please?
Good evening. Joe Conoscente. Council President, my first question here is the old tennis court for sale on Van Houten and Passaic Avenue? My next question is, last year, you funded a cleaning of storm drains. I noticed about a week ago on Jefferson and Hoover, those drains are clogged. I noticed on Main Avenue and Henry Street, the drains are clogged. After you have a company coming out supposedly cleaning them, but I don't know how they missed it. My other question, 183 Howe Avenue. They just built a 3-family, which used to be a 2-family, and counting the basement at the time. Last year, there was a fella here that owned a home, and he had problems with parking. Now, the board allowed this building to be 3-story high with no parking at all on Howe Avenue. So, I don't know, maybe you can answer it.
Mr. Conoscente, could you help me understand that last point?
My last question was on 183 Howe Avenue, the board approved a 3-family house with no parking. And that street is always congested. From Paulison to Lafayette is always congested. So I don't know how you allowed this with no parking spaces. My next question here is, why do we have election signs on the polls that the person that's running for governor is from Newark? So why is the city allowing on our electrical poles signs, which is illegal anyway? You're not supposed to have signs on the poles. And that's PSG property. I'd like to see them removed. My next question is, I don't know what's going on in this city, but that's all I see popping up lately is barber shops and smoke shops. I mean, where do you draw the line with this? We just had another barber shop that opened today. And there's like 4 of them right within a block away from each other. I mean, it's all out of control. I mean, that's what you can put in the city. We don't even have a landmark anymore. My next question is, I brought this up, I think, 1 or 2 meetings ago on 4th Street. So happened after I brought it up, they have a shooting. I don't know if the person died or not, but then after that, there was another one on Main Avenue by Kentucky Fried Chicken. And we're just around the corner from the summer. It looks like it's going to be a nice summer. That this keeps going on and nothing's being done. Everybody's looking into it. Everybody's studying it. Everybody's going to see what we can do with it. It's unheard of. But wait and see. My next question, Lincoln Street and Paulison Avenue. They have a stop sign. And this street is known for a lot of accidents. And the sign is so blurry, you can't even see it anymore. So I would like to see if that can get replaced. And my last question that I have, since we're getting into a Memorial Week, these flags here, can I have them put on the left-hand side? Because American flags always belong on the left side, not on the right side. When you salute the flag, you salute them to the left side. So just to let you know this, the flags are wrong. These are my questions.
Thank you, sir. So your last point first, if I may, I don't, there are certain rules and regulations in terms of how flags are supposed to be hung, especially, of course, the American flag first and foremost. I'm sure that we can count on someone to double check and make sure that it is proper and appropriate.
The flags are placed appropriately in the government building as done in government buildings in the county, the state, and the federal level. They are appropriately displayed.
Good deal. You asked a number of questions. The first question you asked was if the old tennis courts are for sale. Mr. Fernandez, are they for sale? Okay. You asked about 183, how could there be no parking? For that, I would direct you to the mayor's office, and it would then be
Yeah, but it's
directed.
too late. The building's
It
built.
then would be directed
It's too late.
to find out who passed it, which board was it? It's got to be a board, either zoning or planning, that passed it and made the building available for purchase. But in terms of parking, that is governed by those boards, determine how much parking is required. Why are there election signs on telephone poles? Because throughout these 50 states, people put election paraphernalia on telephone poles.
No, they don't.
Okay,
illegal.
they don't.
It's illegal.
Only in the city of Passaic do we
Yeah,
have
that's
that the
it. Only in
case.
City of Passaic,
Did
it's
you
true.
finish your comments? Because it was 5 minutes, Mr. Gunnison.
Yeah. That's it.
Well, if you're stepping down, I guess you don't need questions any other questions answered. But thank you, sir. Would anyone else like to address the council?
Council President,
Mr.
if I may, members of the City Council, first, I would like to go on the record to say that I take exception to the fact that the gentleman who spoke pointed out that the individual on the sign comes from Newark. Individuals run for positions of office, and they come from all over the state of New Jersey, again, throughout the state, throughout the nation. During election time, people put up lawn signs. After the elections, they have a certain amount of time to take them down, and we don't specifically target one sign or another. We are extremely objective and attempt to the best of our ability to provide space, and the same for every single group. If this individual perhaps has a specific candidate, he has every right to exercise his vote on election day and choose his candidacy, but he doesn't get to determine who's allowed to put up sign. And again, I want to point that out. And if I may, Council President, members of the City Council, those who are watching, there were comments shared at the very beginning, which perhaps because there was no question and there wasn't a response, allow me as mayor to state that if in any way the residents of Barry Place felt that they were not involved, as mayor, I would like to express my regret and an official apology if we could have done more in communication. The business administrator rightfully and correctly pointed out that the law only requires public notice. And public notice is often advertised in newspapers, as well as because there are public hearings, whether through NJ Transit, planning board meetings are often advertised. But to the point of the residents, we will look to see how we can approach communication better, because it is important that elected officials hear the concerns of residents. And if the residents in the area did not feel the communication went far enough, I will take it upon myself as the mayor to ensure that we revisit how we share public information and notice. You can never have enough communication. Oftentimes, this is sentiments that are echoed by the city council, whether town hall meetings or otherwise. I know that in terms of transit development and investment, similarly, this approach has been taken by the NJ Transit in different municipalities around the state. There were certain questions asked in terms of how we will ensure the cleanliness and upkeep. I think that is part of the agreement with NJ Transit and the city, that if at all the owners of the business, those who operate, do not maintain the area. And I will say on the record that they have already started. There was an encampment near the area of individuals that are homeless that have already been addressed because of the presence. And they will also add additional lighting. Concerns of the residents did come to my attention through a I will admit a fond and dear friend who expressed concern passionately to me. I'll go on the record to state that. And I'm exploring, Council President, members of the City Council, of opportunities to address those concerns, especially when it comes to hours. Studies were done with similar businesses in other municipalities and when compared to our municipality, and in terms of concern of whether there will be increased traffic and hours of operation. All of these will be brought up to the individuals, and the city will monitor closely the impact if the area is not maintained. In fact, if it is not improved, if there are any concerns, the city will respond immediately. But I can tell you that every step of the way, we have checked all of the legalities, ensured that the city did what is legal. However, again, I reiterate, just because that's all that's required doesn't mean that it was enough. I'm concerned. I cannot go back and forth. I will share, forgive me, it's a council meeting. It's not a mayor's meeting. So according to the law, most people assume that we can go back and forth. Forgive me, but it cannot be back. But I will make myself available to speak to you individually outside of the meeting. I just wanted to share that in terms of the approach, everything was done accordingly. There were public hearings. There was the notification, and NJ Transit has done this. They have done this before in other municipalities, and actually it is an encouraged approach and direction of NJ Transit working in partnerships with municipalities. We will continue to monitor. There have been some issues that have been addressed, such as the majority of the attention will be taken to the baseball field side appropriately where there is recreation. We have had food trucks and vendors and concession near and in the park in the past. This space belongs to NJ Transit. They could have provided for the actual property to be used without our involvement. They could have actually done it, and we wouldn't have had the options of restrictions or being able to monitor it. We are glad that they are working in partnership. It is their property. It is within our jurisdiction. It is their property. And I believe that may have been, Council President, where, and members of the City Council, where there's confusion. When it is our property, we usually, whenever there's going to be an impact in the area, we send out notices, a 200-foot radius, a little bit more. However, here, because it wasn't city property, it was not the requirement. That's why I'm saying in the future, we will look to see what further we can do when it isn't our property, but is within our jurisdiction. For example, if there's property by the highway, by an underpass, even though it's within city lines jurisdiction, it isn't ours. We don't get to determine what they do, but we can push back. So we will look to those concerns, have additional meetings. But as mayor, I do want to share and be candid and transparent. It is a project that I look forward to seeing, that I believe will add a benefit, especially in terms of cameras, surveillance in the area, monitoring, ensuring that individuals cannot hang out late at night. Right now, when J Transit, even though the trains operate to very late at night, there's very little monitoring. They don't have staff, employees there. So there's a cross that goes, or rather passage from one side to another. We have sometimes have had to send police officers to address issues. We believe that with the constant presence there and additional police presence, we believe that it will add and enhance public safety. However, we will monitor. If it does not, we will come back to the city council. We will ensure that the voices of the residents are heard, and we will revisit how this is operating. Thank you.
Thank you, Mayor. Councilwoman Miller, please.
Thank you, Council President. I don't know, Mrs. Administrator, is there a way that we could probably run like a survey moving forward to advertise, to remind citizens whenever we are, maybe just to get feedback from them, maybe ideas of ways on how they would like to obtain this type of information? Because as they're saying, the newspaper, we understand a lot of people are not reading the newspaper. Maybe just get innovative ideas. Because a lot of people use Facebook, maybe an app, or
That's a great point, Councilwoman.
Maybe run some type of survey to get the residents' feedback.
That's a great point, Councilwoman. We have been utilizing social media. We put up information on the LED monitors around the city. We advertise in the newspaper, but we should receive feedback. Residents perhaps can suggest how best to get additional information out. We'll never cover every resident, but those who are in closest proximity to any project or development have a right to be heard, no matter what the law requires. So we have taken the concerns to heart, we have heard them, and we will look to see how we can improve communication and expand upon our efforts to reach out to the community.
If I can add, Mayor, to your comments, which are exactly on target, I believe that everyone, all governments are suffering the same problem. We're required by law to make several advertisements in newspapers. The newspapers are not being read, and it's a cost to the municipalities. Is there anything that is generally available? The answer is not really no. And it becomes even more difficult because each news service, if that's a news service is what they're called, may have a different bias about one thing or another. So it's a challenge I think that everyone is facing, all municipalities are facing. And if we come up with any brainstorm ideas, I'm sure all of our neighboring municipalities would love to hear it because they're in the same quandary, I think, that all of us are at this point. Is there anyone else like to address the council at this time? Seeing no hands, is there a motion to close public hearing, please? Motion?
Second.
And second, roll call, please.
Councilman Monk,
Yes.
Councilwoman Mello,
Yes.
Councilman Schwartz,
Yes.
Councilman Garcia,
Yes.
Councilwoman Colon Montañez,
Yes.
and Council President Scheer.
Yes, thank you. At this time, the council will be deliberating ordinances for second and final reading. Number one, ordinance number 2483-25, an ordinance amending the designation of restricted parking for disabled persons by license plate number. Is there a motion, please, to open public hearing?
Move.
Motion?
Second.
And second, roll call?
Councilman Monk,
Yes.
Councilwoman Mello,
Yes.
Councilman Schwartz,
Yes.
Councilman Garcia,
Yes.
Councilwoman Colon Montañez,
Yes.
and Council President Scheer.
Yes, thank you. Ladies and gentlemen, on the subject, at this time, the council is deliberating proposed ordinance 2483. Is there anyone who would like to address the council on this item and this item only? There's a motion. Is there a second to close? Motion and second to close. Roll call to close, please.
Councilman Monk,
Yes.
Councilwoman Mello,
Yes.
Councilman Schwartz,
Yes.
Councilman Garcia,
Yes.
Councilwoman Colon Montañez,
Yes.
and Council President Scheer.
Yes, thank you. On the ordinance, is there a maker of the ordinance, please?
Move.
Motion
Second.
and second, thank you. Roll call on the ordinance.
Councilman Monk,
Yes.
Councilwoman Mello,
Yes.
Councilman Schwartz,
Yes.
Councilman Garcia,
Yes.
Councilwoman Colon Montañez,
Yes.
and Council President Scheer.
Yes, thank you. The ordinance is ratified. We are up now to commissions, Roman numeral 7, items 2 through 6. Are there any questions about 2 through 6?
Council President, I would ask for a separate vote on 2, please.
Separate vote on 2. Are there any other requests? Seeing none, we'll vote on 3, 4, 5, and 6. Is there a motion, please, to accept items 3, 4, 5, and 6?
I think four.
3?
No.
Who, Councilman Monk?
Yes.
Sorry, agenda.
Are we on a revised?
Did we get a revised one? Then we have a revised. Okay,
This is on 3, 4, 5, and
we
6.
were
Mayor?
given the original one.
Ah.
That's
Excuse the confusion. Are there any questions on 3, 4, 5, and 6? If not, is there a motion, please, to accept 3, 4, 5, and 6?
Move.
Motion and second. Roll call, please.
Councilman Monk,
Yes.
Councilwoman Mello,
Yes.
Councilman Schwartz,
Yes.
Councilman Garcia,
Yes.
Councilwoman Colon Montañez,
Yes.
and Council President Scheer.
Yes, thank you. On number 2, please, separate vote. Roll call, please. Is there a maker of the motion on number 2? There's a motion. Second, please. Motion and second on number 2.
Councilman Monk,
I'm recusing myself.
Councilwoman Mello,
Yes.
Councilman Schwartz,
Yes.
Councilman Garcia.
Yes.
Councilwoman Colon Montañez.
Yes.
And Council President Shear.
Yes, thank you. All items listed to be considered routine in nature, items 7 through 17. I'm sorry, 7 through 16. Are there any questions, please, on 7 through 16?
Council President, I do want to point out that number 7 was the recognition of the 90th birthday of Mrs. Muriel Luis Pereira Hunter, who many on this council and myself are very fond of. We celebrated her 90th birthday. She is an extremely active resident in the city of Passaic, extremely vocal, and with the support of the city council, we declared it Muriel Hunter Day. On her birthday, she was extremely appreciative. Many residents in the city came out to celebrate her birthday, and I wanted to take this opportunity to highlight her, as she is very special and a consistent participant in our senior program in the city of Passaic. Thank you.
Thank you, Mayor. Items 7 through 16. Is there a motion, please, to accept 7 through 16? Motion
Second.
and second. Roll call, please, on 7 through 16.
Councilman Monk.
Yes.
Councilman Schwartz.
Yes.
Councilman Garcia. Councilwoman Colon Montañez.
Yes.
And Council President Shear.
Yes, thank you. Separate vote, please, on number 17. Is there a maker of the motion on 17? Motion, is there a second on 17?
Second.
Motion and second. Roll call, please, on 17.
Councilman Monk.
Yes.
Councilman Schwartz.
Yes.
Councilman Garcia.
Yes.
Councilwoman Colon Montañez.
Abstain.
And Council President Shear.
Yes, thank you. We're up to resolutions, Roman numeral 8 on our agenda. Number 18 is the resolution authorizing closed executive session. Susie, do we need closed executive?
No, Council President.
Thank you, ma'am. Mr. Fernandez?
No, Council President.
Mr. Mayor, sir? Members of the council? Okay, why don't we go down to items 19 through 24A? 24A? Or do we make it 24A or 24B?
24A, sir.
24A. Items 19 through 24A, 24A having been added tonight at the council's agreement. Are there any questions, please, on 19 through 24A?
Yeah, Council President, can I just ask what 24A is? I just don't have the newer agenda in front of me.
You're doing 24A, Councilman?
Yeah,
24A, title reads Resolution Amending Resolution Number 25-04-104, Resolution Appointing Commissioners and Alternate Commissioners to Zoning Board of Adjustment. Are there any other questions on 19 through 24A? If not, is there a motion, please, to accept 19 through 24A, please? There's a motion. Is there a second? The chair will second for purposes of a vote. Roll call, please.
Councilman Monk.
yes.
Councilman Schwartz.
Yes.
Councilman Garcia.
Yes.
Councilwoman Colon Montañez.
Yes.
And Council President Shear.
Yes, thank you. Payment of bills, Roman numeral 9 on our agenda. Are there any questions on the bills, please? Seeing no questions at this time, is there a motion, please, to accept? Bless you.
Move it.
Is the motion and second on the bills? Roll call, please, on the bills.
I'm sorry, I need a second.
Second.
Second, Schwartz.
Councilman Monk.
Yes.
Councilwoman Mello.
Yes.
Councilman Schwartz.
Yes.
Councilman Garcia.
Yes.
Councilwoman Colon Montañez.
Yes.
And Council President Shear.
Yes, thank you. We're up to Roman numeral 10 on our agenda, Administrator's Report. Mr. Fernandez?
None at this time, sir.
Very good, sir. Mr. Mayor, we've been waiting for this all meeting. There he is. Okay. Mr. Mayor, we're up to you, sir.
Report will be brief. We will be extending the work on Myrtle Avenue, which we have done, and we will go from Oak Street to the rest of Myrtle Ave, which becomes Gregory Avenue with the repaving of the road, and the parking painting initiative, which has expanded parking opportunities and as well as the addition of bike lanes. So I want to share that this week we have launched our partnership with the Passaic County Board of Commissioners for a ride program where residents can call directly and receive a ride. I believe the first couple weeks will be free. Is that correct? These areas will be in proximity to locations such as our grocery stores. And you can also request a ride, not just within the city of Passaic, but in the county of Passaic. We will be advertising this program. It is a little different than our free shuttle. Our free shuttle in the city of Passaic provides transportation to all on a set route within the city. This partnership, which we will have in Clifton and Passaic, it was recently covered in the newspaper, will allow residents to specifically call the number or utilize an app and be picked up as somewhere in the vicinity of where you are. Sometimes it may be on the corner, or it may be at a specific area in close proximity to your home or whatever location you're calling, and it will take you. It's similar to an Uber or a Lyft, but at much less cost. I believe that the rides business administrator is $1.
$1.80, I believe, Mayor.
Yes, it's about $1 to utilize it. We are advertising it. We are putting it online. We're going to send out information through the schools. We're going to make sure that all residents are aware. So I wanted to share that information. I'm going to limit my report to just those two.
Very good, sir. Members of the council? Seeing none at this time, is there a motion to adjourn, please? Motion?
Second.
Motion and second to adjourn. Roll call to adjourn, please.
Councilman Monk,
Yes.
Councilman Mello,
Yes.
Councilman Schwartz,
Yes.
Councilman Garcia, Councilman Colon Montañez,
Yes.
and Council President Scher.
Yes, thank you. This meeting is adjourned. Thank you for your attendance.